Well, everyone, it's time for us to go and take a look at the JBL headphones and compare them against AirPods and see which ones are the better ones for you. Now, this is going to be a little interesting because there's a couple of different versions of AirPods and there's a couple of different versions of JBL headphones. But there are a few different things to kind of keep in mind here between both, because for the most part, when you take a look at both these headphones, there's some pros and cons between both these models, which is something that's nice. But I will probably tell you there's not going to be one that's going to be the best one for every single person out there. But I will just make kind of a statement. If you do end up owning something like an iPhone, iPad, or MacBook, then it might make a lot of sense for you to go ahead and actually buy something like a AirPod, because those will actually end up, kind of connecting better and just being a better experience overall for the most part, instead of your, Apple ecosystem, than something like another pair of headphones like JBL headphones in this situation. So that's kind of one of those things to keep in mind. Again, it's not the biggest deal in the world, but if you're about to go ahead and pick up a pair of headphones, that might just be one of those small little things to keep in mind there from that side. So a big thing, when you look at both, the design language of these types of headphones are slightly different, as you can probably imagine. So with AirPods, these things come in like their kind of like classic case. They look pretty nice, but they kind of come in these like eggshell colors. The JBL headphones come in a few different, variations of sizes. So the thing that I actually like a lot about these JBL headphones is that for some models, or most models, they do end up giving you like this battery indicator. So you can kind of see like what battery life your particular headphones are charging at. So that's always something really nice to basically have. And if you're about to go through and pick up, a pair of headphones, I actually do like that a lot between these. So I would probably tell you from that particular side, that's actually something that's really cool. And I do like being able to buy these types of headphones to give me that type of capability. But I probably will tell you AirPods do kind of feel a little bit better in the hand. I feel like they're built a little bit better, especially depending on whichever types of AirPods you end up getting. I think that is kind of another really important thing to keep in mind there as well. But between both, I probably will tell you it's not the biggest deal in the world or anything but like that. But it would be kind of nice to be able to go through and buy certain types of, headphones that feel more premium. And that is kind of one of those things that's kind of going on in this particular situation as well. So from that side too, not the biggest deal in the world, but again, just one of those small things to kind of keep in mind there as well. From a price tag standpoint, the cheapest JBL headphones go from about $50, but they'll go all the way up to about about $250, give or take. The AirPods go from about $129 to about $250. So the cheapest JBL headphones do end up costing about basically a little bit cheaper than the cheapest AirPods. So if you are wanting kind of a cheaper option, then you do have the capability of going for the JBL headphones, because those will kind of be a cheaper set of headphones than something like AirPods in this particular situation. So again, not the biggest deal in the world, but it could just be one of those other minor things you might run into there in that particular situation as well. Now, on top of that, when it comes down to both these types of headphones, I'll probably tell you, in my personal opinion, if you're using both these types of headphones, the sound quality between both still sound very, very good to me, right? I'm not somebody who's like the biggest, sound quality person in the world, but I do like both because they do feel, they feel and sound very good for the things that I would need inside of a pair of headphones. Like, if I'm being honest, I'm not the biggest, I just don't know that much about audio as much anymore. Like, I used to, because I used to make a lot of songs, but not really that much anymore. As long as they're compatible and they feel and fit well in my ears, they work well. But I will probably tell you some of these JBL headphones do end up fitting a little bit better inside of my ear than some AirPods. Like the base generation AirPods, like the AirPods 4s and 3s, those ones just never fit in my ear that well. But these JBL headphones fit a little bit better just because they have the ear tips I can kind of customize and change out. So that is kind of a nice thing going on there for the most part. Again, maybe it's not the biggest deal in the world, but it will just be one of those things to kind of keep in mind there for the most part as well. So I'd probably tell you, for the most part, if you're about to go through and pick up a pair of headphones, that could be one thing you might run into there as well. But again, not the biggest deal in the world, but it is one of those things to keep in mind there as well. So in my personal opinion, right, if I'm looking at both these headphones, I'll probably tell you that between both, I'm a big fan of both of them. I think they both hold up very well. I'll probably tell you though, for the most part, like if I'm about to go through and pick up a pair of headphones, I do kind of think that a pair of AirPods are very, very decent options. And I feel like if you do have some sort of an Apple device, those ones do make a lot more sense for me to recommend to people than these ones, right? Like if I'm about to go through and pick up a pair of headphones, I think AirPods might be the ones I'd probably recommend more so. But at the same time, I do feel like a pair of, JBL headphones are very nice They do share a lot of features that some other devices don't have either, so I feel like that's another thing to keep in mind there as well. But that's kind of how both of them compare. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.